Okay, hi guys. Or hi again, guys, to those who are coming over from the morning motions squabble that we just watched. We have a verdict in the ASAP Rocky trial. Now, it's about to be 3 p.m. Pacific time. They've been deliberating and they stopped the clock at 3 hours, 53 minutes, and 30 seconds, which I don't think is all that long, especially if they were reviewing video footage over and over. I'm interested to see what they decided. They're giving 90 minutes for everybody to arrive, but they could read the verdict sooner if everybody gets there earlier. So we'll have to see. This is the part of the chat, you guys. We'll do a poll. Should we do 2 different polls? One for what you think the verdict will be, one what you want the verdict to be. Let's see. Let's get a poll set up. And if you're on replay crew, I will timestamp when the reading of the verdict actually occurs, because again, it could be up to 90 minutes from now. So if you're just looking for the verdict, I will put a timestamp once the stream is done in the description and a pinned comment. But let's see, let's get a poll going. The whole chat's voting anyway. All right, poll. We're gonna do verdict will be. Not what you want it to be, what you think it will be. And now read them all, because guilty on both. There's 2 charges. Acquitted. Split. And a hung jury, which means they can't decide. And it'll end in a mistrial, or they'll be told to keep deliberating. All right, so poll is live, chat. Poll is live. Vote away. Vote away. Hey, Fatima, good to see you. Oh, yeah, we know it's not hung. Hold on. Cancel the poll. That was a stream moment. That was not a... Did anybody select hung? Hold on. That was a streamer moment right there. My brain went to mush. Stop voting for hung jury, guys. Hold on, we're redoing it because I messed that up. Appreciate you guys for rolling with me, though. Verdict will be guilty on both, acquitted, split. Okay. Shout out to Here Comes Drama. Right, you guys were with it. You guys were going all the way with it. Well, they have a verdict. So hung means they can't come to a verdict. So. Oh man. That was good, you guys. And as a time filler, do you guys want to like watch anything? I'll keep the verdict window open. But we can watch something if you guys want to watch something, because again, it could be 90 minutes until they come back around. The 2 counts, they're both assault with a semi-automatic firearm, but one is in relation to the scene of the parking garage area. The other is in relation to like the Vista Del Mar and Selma intersection, where they're in kind of like the open parking lot area. Okay, so we have, I think Tanette says I meant acquittal on both. We have an off vote there. Did I teleport? Yeah, we jump between 2 streams today, you guys. Shout out to Upstate House to Home. Oh, we have several clips of Lewin crashing out. We could do those if you guys want. Are you sure you want to put yourself through that? I think I have 3. So, honestly, let me link you guys. If you guys are joining now but didn't catch the motions from this morning, I promise it was short. I think it was like 30 minutes and the stream was about 37 minutes total. So, there's a good chance that you can watch all of that before the jury is read out loud. So if you want to actually see the arguments in full, I mean, we could go through it again, but I think half the chat already just went through that. So this morning motions argument. But as a quick summary, prosecutor John Lewin was saying that Tacopina violated a gag order by doing an interview with Justice Serve TV. Judge was like, nope, and I'm not hearing any arguments, not hearing it. I went through the interview with Linda and Michael, and this is what was said. He read the quote, and he's like, I don't find that this violated the gag order. That's my ruling. Don't argue with me. And then Chad Siegel for the defense argued that John Lewin intentionally misled the jury in closing, not just with the Relly knuckle photo that he put up on the projector that wasn't actually in evidence, but also by a new sequencing of this video and audio of the alleged gunshots, the sequencing of that. There was a second difference, a 1 second difference in the way the compilation was used in John Lewin's PowerPoint closing. And for the record, Chad made the argument that, you know, a slight difference when we're arguing self-defense can make all of the difference. And Lewin disagreed, and he spent a lot of time rehabilitating his integrity there. But I think the stream was 39 minutes, and I think it was like 7 minutes of that was me talking at the end. But you could go and see all of the arguments. Lewin got very loud, then very smiley, then very sad. Let's see. Yeah, Drea Ann just came over from the motions hearing video. Taco Tuesday says the rebuttal was so wrong in many ways. And that's the thing, like, I feel like it weakened what could have been a decent closing summation from Mr. P. Not saying that Mr. P's closing summation impacted where I stood. I firmly do not believe that the people met their burden here to prove their case beyond a reasonable doubt. But, you know. Let's see. Let's do one check here to see if sometimes Law and Crime like posts in the chat that. Okay, so they moved it to 4. So they think about 60 minutes, an hour from now, rather than 90 minutes. So that's a small update. And over on X. Okay, so over on X, I see that Cash Money Cass is already at it. So she says how Lewin wants people to react every time he brings up his 30 years as a lawyer. Oh my goodness. Holy moly. Let's get this back over here. And you guys, if you are on X, make sure you are following Cass. There you go. Her link is in the chat there. Nicole Blevins, thank you for the super, says, oh my god, why am I so nervous? I'm a hygienist, so I'm watching from the bushes, as chat would say, lol. Well, you know, hopefully you're not, like, in there working and going, going like this, looking off at the screen. But I feel you. Great work. Keep those chompers clean out there for the people. Much appreciated. 403 is ready, says, hello, Kat and K&W gang. Good to see you. Hope you have been doing well. Let's see. Cash Money Cass says, I have 90 minutes to roast Lewin. They knocked it down to 60. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I think... All right. So I'm seeing a prediction here from Matt Timpanic. Maybe this will quell the chat a little bit. I still think juries can be unpredictable, but I do think this is a pretty fast decision when there's media involved. I mean, if they listen to those rally calls and watch the videos, you got to think like a good chunk of time would be eaten up just by playing that stuff one time through. But Matt says this feels like a 2-worded verdict. So not guilty, Matt's thinking. Let's see. Do you guys want to do crash out, Lewin crash outs? Do you want to rewatch motions? All right, put a 1 in the chat if you just want to rewatch this morning's motions. Put a 2 in the chat if you want to watch Lewin crash out clips. I see a vote for crash out. 2. I got a lot for the crash out clips. Now we're getting some more for the motions this morning. The 2s look like they are winning, chat. Although we are getting some 1s. I don't know what 3 is. 3 is anything but Lewin. Let's see. Videos. I mean, technically there's a miniature crash out in the morning arguments from today. Let's see. Let's see. Crash. All right, so this was from 12 days ago. This first clip we're going to pull up is from 12 days ago. And it's got me in it, so sorry there's going to be 2 of me. I'll hide, let's see. Let me hide myself. You guys get past Cat.
Mr. Siegel then said it would just mean that they didn't have a video. I then said, overruled, no speaking objection, overruled. And then you said, Your Honor, can the jury? And I said, no editorializing by anybody. Ask another question, Mr. Kurzweil.
Your Honor, that was a comment that conveyed to the jury that there was potentially video that they didn't have. It's not just a speaking objection. Courts basically sustain the objection, and what it is...
No, I said overruled.
Whether it's...
All right, so what is it that you want? You are focusing on minutia.
Judge, what I want is I want the unethical conduct to stop.
Stop. Or you knock it off.
Talk about the day 1, Judge. I mean, that's...
Knock it off. Enough. Stop, Mr. Lewis.
What are we going to do, Judge?
The objection was overruled. You're focusing on minutia.
You mean a speaking objection where you wrote down something for the jury?
What do you want me to do? Tell me what you want me to do.
Judge, you've instructed repeatedly that there's a difference between a speaking objection when you're trying to even communicate a legal reason. That's not even a legal reason. That's basically shouting out a fact to the jury. It is, Your Honor, we've had, in this case, time after time after time, and what happens is, unfortunately, the conduct doesn't result in any inconsequence. So, Your Honor, again, what I asked at the time was, I just wanted the court to, when the comment was made, I wanted the court to say to the jury, that comment should not be made and you're disregarded.
No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do it.
All right.
Both sides have been making speaking objections.
Judge, we have not one time in this case, both sides at points have made speaking objections where they've tried to clarify a point of law or say, here's why question. We have not one time made a comment like that regarding evidence. And we're not in a vacuum, as the court is aware from conversations that have been had. We are not, I'm not making this point in a vacuum. The court knows exactly what I'm talking about, and so does the defense. And there's a point where we just had it. It's not right.
The jury's going to be told that a question by an attorney is not relevant. It only applies meaning to the answer. There was no answer to the question. This is minutia. This doesn't amount to anything. I don't want to take any more time about this. The jury is waiting outside. The jury can come in.
All right, now the jury's coming back. Oh boy. So I have 3 total. That was the first one from 12 days ago. The others from 10 days ago. And I think it's where we get the holy S moment from Takapina. So this is get the second one up.
I do. And then I'm going to ask all of you. Okay. I always do when we before the break. Thank you. All right. We're outside the presence of the jury. Mr. Lewin.
Hold on, wait. This one has two. This has two cats of the past, because we have a comment from Cat Fink here in the corner, and then the cat up at the top of the screen. We've got two blasts from the past with fellow cats.
You've been questioning the witness for 2 hours and 40 minutes.
2 hours and 40 minutes.
You have 90 minutes remaining. You have 90 more minutes. I'm controlling the progress of the case. That means over 4 hours with this witness.
Your Honor,
You have 90 minutes remaining.
Your Honor, I've got an ethical duty to actually effectively prosecute this
And
case.
you're going to have to do it in 90 minutes.
Your Honor, of course we can do what it's going to do, but at least allow me to be heard.
Look at Joe
You
Math,
have to-
holy-ish.
I've got an ethical duty to actually effectively prosecute this
And you're
case.
going to have to do it in 90 minutes.
Your Honor, of course we can do what it's going to do, but at least allow me to be heard.
Go ahead. Say what you want to say.
They had the witness, the victim, on the stand for 3 days. They asked him question after question about his income, about more irrelevancies than I can add up. I'm going through video where the witness is impeaching himself left and right on the central issues in this case. And the court is saying, you gotta hurry up. Your Honor, we have to be able to do our job. I'm not wasting time. I am asking questions that are getting important information. And when the court didn't limit them at all. This witness is as important as the victim in the case.
The reason Relly took so long is because he was so uncooperative and he would not answer a question. This witness is answering questions. Over 4 hours is enough. You have 90 minutes remaining. Just use your time wisely. That's it, 90 minutes. That's an hour and a half more. I'm sure you can get it done in that time. Oh, anything?
No, sir.
No, Your Honor. Mr. Self, anything?
No.
Mr. Lewin, anything more?
No.
All right, see you at 10 o'clock on Monday.
Oh. So, crash out number 2, and this was like a 2-week trial. And then crash out 3 that I've clipped. And again, I don't think I've clipped them all. Let's see, crash out 3, and that's the final one I have clipped, guys, is this one. Alright, so we've gotten about an hour 27 or so. Oh, are they arguing? Oh, chat.
To make sure.
Chat. I thought they were gonna go and break. They're arguing. Oh. Oh my gosh. Here we go, chat. Here we go.
Unequivocally, do not mention the prosecution's verdict. Here's a quote. On an objection, you overrule it. The prosecution accepts their witness committing perjury. It's improper, it's unethical, you said you're not going to tolerate it, and I object. And you make it clear to the jury that my objection you find annoying. It's very clear that the tone that we get when we make an objection that should be sustained is, what are you doing? That's what was said. You specifically...
Lower your voice and don't yell at me. I told you before. I'll listen to what you say. Speak in a normal tone of voice.
Judge, we're doing the best we can to make sure that this trial is ethically conducted. They have repeated, I've objected, you told them it's improper. You've overruled repeated objections where they are saying improper things. He just said a moment ago, this is a direct quote, the prosecution accepts their witness committing perjury. I object. You respond, that's appropriate comment on the evidence. It is not appropriate comment on the evidence, Your Honor. I don't know, you didn't hear it?
I didn't hear that.
So, Judge,
What I heard, I could have been wrong, what I heard was that Mr. Tacopina was describing Relly as committing perjury.
Judge, that's a direct quote. The direct quote was, the prosecution accepts their witness committing perjury. Here's another one. Relly committed extortion. There is no legal...
Do you think the jury's going to ask for what the legal description of extortion is?
Your Honor.
Forcing someone to pay money, that is, quote, extortion.
Your Honor.
Go on to something else.
Define it.
I want to make my record. I mean, you're going to do what you're going to do, but I have a right to make my record. No lawyer can get up here, no lawyer can get up here and tell the jury that a crime has been committed when there is no instruction on that crime. When in fact, Your Honor, that's not the legal definition of extortion. We've objected, and the court again is basically telling me, don't worry about it, it doesn't matter. Your Honor, it does matter. After a while, when there are so many of these things, they add up. And when the court is saying, well, what they don't care about it.
No, I didn't say they don't care about it.
It's improper. It's improper argument. And the problem is...
I don't agree with you. I think using the word, quote, extortion to describe the conduct is not improper. I think it's fair comment on the evidence. You, in your rebuttal argument, you can say it wasn't extortion.
Your Honor,
you can address it.
Your Honor, the bigger issue, as I said, is the court...
The jacket.
Do not connect the prosecution to committing crime.
I'll tell you what, I didn't hear that. I'm going to ask Captain for the exact quote. If that's what was said, I'm going to sustain your objection, and I will apologize for overruling.
Could I respond, please, on that one issue? Not everything else you said. What I said was, and I agree with what I said, but understand the context of it, okay? But I didn't say this is more perfect. I didn't say it yesterday, I didn't say it today. The one thing I said, and it was fair comment, was the prosecution accepts that witness committed perjury. And what I mean by that is in regards to one thing, and it's indisputable, Your Honor. It was regarding Relly saying the tape was fake. The tape was fake. They got up, cross-examined Mr. Sajemi, did not ask him if the tape was fake or not. Okay? They then put up transcripts of that tape recording with attributions to Mr. Efron. So that means, just by that very fact, they accept the fact that he committed perjury. I'm not saying they support it, but they accept that witness committed perjury. They have to. Let me finish. There's no other way for them to move forward unless they say that wasn't perjury, but it was because he said that was fake. We know it wasn't fake. It was real. That was perjury. So by them moving forward with it, arguing that the tape is important for the prosecution, that Efron said these things, that when they cross-examined Mr. Jemmy, that wasn't being a good friend to Efron because he made a tape. All that is doing is, I'd say it's supporting it. It's different. I would never say that. I didn't say it yesterday. What it is doing is accepting it because they didn't say, we have an issue with this witness, he's committed perjury. I said they accepted that witnesses committing perjury. That witness committing perjury on that one issue. That's fair comment, Your Honor. It's not inappropriate. It wasn't disparaging counsel. I didn't say Mr. Lewin. I just said they accepted, and that is true. That there's no other way around it.
It is not fair comment. It is completely unethical.
I agree with you.
So, Your Honor,
I agree with you.
What's frightening is Mr. Tacchino just stood up here and basically defended, said, yeah, I said it, but I can say it. He doesn't know or care about the law. That is clear. And Your Honor, when it's happened 25 times in this trial, with the hiding of evidence, with the late discovery, and with repeated, you told counsel before we started, do not disparage the other side. I said yesterday, you argue what you want about witnesses. You say a witness lied. You do not disparage counsel. You repeated it yesterday. He tried to explain how he didn't make mistakes yesterday, which he did. Now he gets up and he's now admitted, yes, I made that comment, here's why it's appropriate. Your Honor, it's not appropriate. It's completely unethical. It is immoral, and it's not professional. And again, Your Honor, the fact that he is getting up here saying, well, yeah, I said it, here's why, just demonstrates again, he doesn't know the law or doesn't care.
You're disparaging him, right?
I'm disparaging him because, Your Honor, he's not following the weirdness.
There does not be any disparaging of either side.
During argument, the jury's not here. I have every right, obligation, and duty
On the record?
to stand up here and point out that he was being unethical. The first time the court catches me being unethical, Your Honor, the court knows. That'd be the first time. Court knows. I don't do that.
Oh,
Court knows. Court's already made
I've heard enough from both of you. I missed the prosecution accepts their witness committing perjury. I don't think that's fair comment on the evidence. I think that's an improper statement. It infers that the prosecution is allowing perjury to occur. I'm going to sustain your objection, and I'm going to apologize for overruling it, and then move on. If I worked with two of you, I would, just move on and not make bring it to the jury's attention. I would point out, though, I told you at the beginning of arguments that if an objection is made, I'm going to do my best to call it as I see it. You have made 17 objections. I have overruled 12. I have sustained 5. I'm doing the best I
This
can.
count is
I will
off.
continue to do the best I can, and that's all I can say.
I just want to put on the record that, these remarks about being unethical, I've just about had it with him. This from a lawyer who, and I was the same day I said on it, this from a lawyer who asked in front of a jury for a stipulation that a shooting range was not in California, when either he knew it was in California or had no idea that it was in California. Okay? So he literally asked for a stipulation in front of a jury that he knew was not true or didn't know if it was true. And that's unethical. That's unethical. And this is a guy who, the Ninth Circuit just said lied to a jury in the Branford case.
Your Honor,
So
Your
I
Honor,
want to
Your
hear
Honor.
about him.
One more thing out of him, and we air everything that's happened in this case. Which the
You have
court
a
will
gag
hear.
order. You asked
He
for a
might
gag
want to
order.
stop.
I'm so dreadful.
You should be, Joe.
Oh, yeah.
Let's take a break.
You should be.
Don't tell the courts that told me I was a liar.
I think you should ask for a gag order.
Oh, I'm so scared of you.
Stop it! Knock it off.
Okay, and back to Future Cat here. Also, if you guys want to memorialize that knock it off, Valerie clipped it. So Valerie has it here.
Stop it! Knock it off. Stop it!
Oh my goodness. The link in the chat to that there. And guys, I see you guys talking about the Joe Tacopina interview on TMZ. TMZ can be pretty with YouTube. But yes, Tacopina was talking about Rocky's brand ambassador deal with Gucci. They have a scent called Guilty, and they really wanted to do a Valentine's Day promo. And Joe was like, oh God, no, like, can you at least call it Gucci, not Guilty? Yeah, timing. Not great. But, I do believe it was clipped out there somewhere too. Yeah, they need to change that name or hold off. Like, he was like, can you just wait one more week? Oh my gosh. Can you imagine? Do you think Lewin would complain? Lewin suddenly would shut his mouth about media attention and interviews. Actually, I don't think he complained about the TMZ thing. He complained about the interview on Justice Served TV, but he didn't complain about the TMZ one. So, and Lawn Crime is still saying, let's see. Let's get all the way to the front of this. They're still estimating about 4. Let's see. Yeah, they're still saying 4. So 4-ish. 4-ish. Also, I saw some comments scrolling by, jury questions, readbacks. We didn't have that. We would have known, there would have been a note sent over to the court and then the media would have found out. But there were no jury questions. There were no, can we get a readback of certain things? And I don't know. Juries are unpredictable, but I do think the lack of readback, they had certain things back there with them. They didn't need to come back to the courtroom to play the exhibit videos. They had that all back there with them on a laptop. So in some cases, you might be aware, oh, we want to look at a video. Can we come out and watch it again? Can we come out and hear this audio file again? We'd be aware of that because the jury doesn't have it with them back in the deliberations room. Here, that's not a thing, right? So they might be looking at more than we're used to, but they don't need to tell us about it. So Here Comes Drama says, hopefully the dislike for Relly is enough. And that's the thing, like, credibility, likability, body language. To be honest, some things that maybe shouldn't make a difference, sometimes they do. I think with Relly, that's like, he's so far on the extreme. Like, some of the ways he would speak about things, the language he would use. You guys know I was stuck on the example of, you know, if I just disappear on an island, it'll be like a DV case. The way he worded that was not helpful. It did not evoke any sympathy from me for Relly. Yeah, and I'm thinking, Patty B, I'm pretty okay saying it's either guilty or not guilty. I know that doesn't seem like much, but I can't imagine. I don't really think that they're going to come back with guilty on one and not guilty on the other. So I do think we were probably looking at an all one way or the other. Yeah, Aisha Kenya, worst witness in history. Now, if this was a hung jury, it's one of those things where it would be so hard to imagine a prosecution team in general bringing a trial back around two. But then you put Lewin in the equation. And I was thinking about this yesterday. I was like, I can't imagine Lewin not wanting to retry. Which is just, I don't feel like that's the way things should be. I'm also kind of weird. I feel like it should be 12 to convict, but maybe like 10 out of 12 to acquit. Right? And give some buffer. I don't know, because personally, I feel like if a jury can't come to a conclusion, I get that there might be one-off juror that's always going to be a contrarian, and they're going to hang the jury no matter what. But you give them a 2-person buffer there. But if a jury can't come to an almost unanimous decision, then the prosecution probably hasn't met their burden of proving their case beyond a reasonable doubt. So I wish in my own ideal world, Kat's ideal world, it would be like 10 out of 12 for an acquittal and 12 to convict. So yeah, no hung jury, you guys, because they have a verdict. So, but it could be split. And I don't think it's going to be split. I don't think it's going to be split. Let's see. Yeah, let me look at the poll. All right, so currently the poll with almost 1,100 votes. Make sure you hit that like button too, guys. 7% say guilty on both. 74 say acquitted on both, and 20% are saying split. One guilty, one not guilty. So, yep, they have a verdict. They have a verdict. I'm honestly thinking not guilty, but I don't know. I don't know. I've been surprised by verdicts before. I've also, when I say surprised, I feel like that implies disappointed. But I've also been pleasantly surprised by verdicts. Like, I was really nervous for Travis Rudolph, even though I wanted a not guilty in that case. And I was ready to hear that they were going to find him guilty. And then they didn't, and I was really happy. And it was like a wonderful, wonderful moment when he came out of the courtroom and he was speaking to the press with his attorney next to him. You could just like feel the elation. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. This could go either way. You could have had 12 people that went back in that jury room and said, you know, we don't think it was self-defense. We don't think it was a prop gun. And I might personally disagree with that decision. I would totally I've come to different conclusions on my own. But I don't know. I am not all 12 people. Yeah, this is how I feel, Brittany. If they take their oath and the burden of proof seriously, not guilty is the only option. But I don't know if you guys, allegedly maybe's right here with it. Lawyer, went over that interview with the juror on Karen Reed, and so it gets dicey in that back room, guys. Turtle Boy or Aiden Kearney interviewed a juror in the Karen Reed case. If you aren't familiar, that ended in a mistrial. There was a hung jury, and from all the jurors that have spoken out, they were willing to acquit and find not guilty on 2 of the 3 counts. They don't think that it was like murder. They don't think that she fled the scene, but they were caught up. They weren't sure what to do with a manslaughter count, and they ended up hanging on that. And there's a whole bunch of issues there, but a juror did a pretty extensive interview, and a lot of people have been reacting. So I didn't know Lawyer did a reaction, but I saw a little bit of Melanie Little, and I watched almost all of Ian Runkle's reaction to the juror interview. So that's the one I've seen. I enjoyed all of Ian's commentary on it. The juries can be crazy, and this is not to poke any direction at this particular juror. I applaud him for doing this interview and think he was great to hear from. But some of the questions he was being asked about witnesses that are not the defendant on trial, he would say, talking about their credibility, he was acting like, oh, well, that witness, could they have been suspect? Could they have been involved in a cover-up? He suggested that the deliberations involved them finding reasonable doubt to exclude other people who are not on trial. But then they were missing the mark on how reasonable doubt should be applied to the actual defendant in the case. And anytime you see a juror do interviews, we got to see it with YSL. I always say tune in, listen to that, because it will shock you what jurors will say. Yeah, really, really, really incredible interview. I mean, there's a lot of videos. You could go watch it directly with Turtle Boy or Aiden Kearney. Again, Lawyer, Melanie Little and Ian Runkle are others that I know did reactions to that interview. If there were others, you guys can shout that out. Yeah, Candy Girl. Yep. The Karen Reed juror. Things that could have been reasonable doubt. The defense presenting their case in chief. The jurors felt like the witnesses the defense called during their case in chief were distractors. So, and it takes me back to the YSL trial, right? Like, we have Max Shart and Doug Weinstein make the strategic decision. Oh my God, we have a seal. We have a seal, chat. We have a seal. Let me make sure I'm all the way forward. But we had the strategic decision with Doug Weinstein and Max Shart. We're not even going to put up a case in chief because we've been here a million days. So, all right, well, we technically don't have the seal. So we'll see. We'll make this full screen. They muted us. Oh boy. Oh, okay. We're back on not the seal. Oh, and oh my gosh, my bad. I didn't mean to miss you guys. My bad. I always feel so bad. You know what I mean? Also known as Renee Stevenson says, OMG, this is going to be my second verdict with you. You know what's crazy? When you have a typical trial that's like maybe like a month or less, that doesn't seem like a lot. But when your first trial hanging out together is YSL, that's like 8 months in the trenches together, right? Since I started actually streaming rather than doing a couple clips here and there. So that is an extremely long time that isn't captured unless it's specified you mean the YSL trial is trial 1. We got the heart, the green amphibious emoji, and a hashtag not guilty. I'm with you. I am hoping to hear a not guilty. Please don't judge my reaction to the verdict, you guys. I'm here just like the rest of you. Great to see and great to have you here for the verdict watch, Renee Stevenson. Adriana B, custom furniture and home decor. Love that. Tell us more. says the video was off by 1 second, but I'm going to deny that motion. The picture was different. The picture was different, but I'm going to deny that too. Makes total sense. Yeah, you know, and what's interesting is Lewin makes sure that he states in court during these motion arguments this morning, it wasn't prosecutorial misconduct. It was trial error, meaning the court found that the judge should have given an instruction in relation to what was said by the prosecutor, right? Slightly different, although it like encompasses the thing that's the issue. But Lewin's like, haha, I wasn't the issue. But here we have the same thing. Defense is saying Lewin did this thing that's an issue and also did this other thing that's an issue. And the judge is like, no, I don't, it's fine. It's fine. It wasn't intentional. It was inadvertent. I don't believe that Lewin knows how to edit videos, right? So, yeah. To me, 1 second is huge. It's one thing to say that it was inadvertent and okay, they have the actual exhibits back there with them. I don't love the idea that someone's saying it's just 1 second. It's just 1 second. There are scenarios where defense, lawful self-defense, justifiable use of force can switch. It can be like the ping pong back and forth. It can switch. 2 people can be justified instantaneously in acting in self-defense. And then there might be moments where neither, all within the time frame of one fight, right? So to say 1 second is not a big deal is just crazy to me. That's crazy to me. Jim says, okay, it's actually a good argument. I've seen his PowerPoint. I don't think he can edit a video. And it was Mr. P that made the argument while Lewin was sitting there cheesing, like, oh, man. So big thank you here to, I don't know, is it Adriana or Adriana? Because this can be pronounced both ways, and they're very different. It's just as different as 1 second, if you ask me. And Chlois with the mostest says, nervous, stressed awaiting a verdict that will never come. We got it, though. We got it. Try Relly Lewinson's antacid tablets. Let dissolve fully and drink up. Great for cleaning tile surfaces. Only $4.99. Get yours today. Hold on, $4.99. $4.99. This is a new number. We need something 30 related. Let's see. And I thought, chat, shout out to the chat. When Lewin was talking about, I've been an attorney for 30 years, the court has, has acknowledged I've been an attorney for 30 years. In the chat, a few people were like, 30 years, $30 million. Like, you guys just instantly jumped. You heard the number 30 and thought immediately of that $30 million ask. Oh, man. So big thank you here to Chlois with the mostest, our QVC resident. YSL says, how much time is he facing? So technically, by statute, what would be allowable with the firearms attached? It could be up to 24 years. But the prosecution, very emphatically and in front of the jury, wants it to be clear that that's not what they're seeking. And Lewin mentioned out of the jury's presence, but in front of the judge, to the judge, that they were asking for 8 years. So, yeah, so the verdict, I mean, I don't know if they've updated, but I think that they did just pop the seal on. So, sometimes they say stuff in the chat. I don't see any of the law and crime text. But I do think it's in the next 20 minutes or so, because they did get the camera ready to put the seal on. Also, the morning motions hearing, shout out to that camera person. They were like doing like the sitcom zoom-ins on the different people while they were speaking. I liked it. I enjoyed it. Let's see. Yeah, no updates on anything significant over on X. No, you did not miss it. We were still waiting for verdict. Actually, let me change my banner. I'll make it the one that sits still. Verdict is in. Oh wait, does it cover the chats? Okay, it comes back up when I get rid of a chat. Well, that's not really like the greatest layout, but it's what StreamYard gives me. So I don't have a copy of the motions. I don't have the paper motions. Let's see. If you missed the morning motions, again, if they're gonna go live, if they're gonna like stick to this 4 p.m. thing, you could catch a good part of the motions arguments. There it is in the chat. I'll also put it in the description of this video when the stream's over. Yeah, Miranda, when it's a static banner, that's the size of it. I don't know. Maybe it lets me change it. I can change the shape of it. Okay, this one's kind of little. Oh, I don't like that though. Yeah, so we gotta work with what we've got, people. Yes, they squabbled this morning, chat. They squabbled this morning. Yeah, Mark says, ask the jury one question. Was it a real gun? Yeah, that's a good point. Update when they arrive at the court. And I don't see any specific updates about arrivals. So. But they did, it was 90 minutes. 4:30 p.m. Pacific was the estimated time, and we've got 4 p.m. now, so I do think that people have been arriving. So so for whatever reason, StreamYard doesn't let you change the layout of where the banner is. So that's annoying. Like, it's just not an element that it lets me move. What's the law and crime chat saying? Let's have a fight with the law and crime chat. There's a lot of caps going on. Yeah, no updates from law and crime themselves. Welsh Lady Reads, good to see you. Says, been lurking, but watch this trial with you too with the hearts. Well, look, and you could see it right there. It says member for 7 months. That's a super long time. So thank you for being a member for 7 months. And it's good to see you. I was going to say, yeah, I don't think I saw you that much for this ASAP Rocky trial. Were you in the bushes? You said there is sound? Hold on. Someone's saying there is sound. So I have sound on here. Oh gosh, the banner's taking over. Usually when I hide a comment, it goes away. I have the sound on. So the law and crime feed doesn't seem to have any sound. And I think they gave a 90-minute window. It looks like it's going to be less. So Eastern time, 7 p.m. 7 p.m. Eastern. And now I see, to be fair, like law and crime, their chat might have a different lean than this chat does. And I don't think it just comes down to a bunch of newbies who've like rarely watched any days of this trial. That might be part of it because it is involving a high profile, it's a high profile case. So there are probably people that are tuning in to hear the verdict that might not have followed the rest of it. But in general, law and crime's chat does seem to I don't know. I always hear people saying like the law and crime chat is always like that, so. Oh, oh no, Welsh Lady Reads, wishing you well here. I'm very glad that you are here with us today. Okay, sweet. Queen Valerie says Mel and Rocky and Joe. Mel said, Mel said that Rocky and Joe haven't arrived yet. Yep, and Mel is there. She did a members only earlier today, you guys. And I don't know how to link to it because I think the way she does her members only, rather than relying on YouTube's feature, she actually puts them as unlisted so she can share it with her Patreon. So, I think if you're a member to her channel, if you go to her profile and click the community tab, you can see a post where she shares the link and you can go and watch that. She was in the media room. But I'm sure she'll go live when she gets home and actually be able to speak. Because when she's in the court, like when she's in the actual courtroom, she can't just be like talking on the camera. But make sure you go if you're not already following Mel. I'm not a lawyer, but here is her YouTube link. Oh, we have the seal, chat. We have the seal. Okay. Are they gonna like psych us out again? They're gonna pull it away, chat. All right, let me get rid of this banner so it doesn't pop back up. Oh, they muted us again. It is a nice feeling when they like get rid of that. And we are all the way forward on the stream. Sassy Experience, thanks for hanging out with us today, says, you didn't know you would miss Granville, yeah, and the Fulton County Bowl. Then LA County DA and the judge said, hold my beer. Yep. And think about this. This is a shorter trial, but imagine Lewin for what, 165 days? How many days was the YSL trial? I should know this because I made a thumbnail every day for it. Let's see. What was the last day? YSL trial. But yeah, just imagine Lewin for that many days. Why don't I have a YSL playlist popping up? Um, 167? I think 167. Yeah, I have a thumbnail that says 167, so... And that would assume that I correctly added everything to the playlist. Like, if there was a day 168 and I didn't add it to the playlist. All right, the jurors are coming in. Here comes drama with the relay from Mel. I'm not a lawyer, but... All right, so let's make sure... Captions... Okay, and their clock, I guess there's a delay in their feed because I was like, their time says 3:49, but it's 50 minutes here. They're a little bit behind. Yes, if you're joining now, you are in time from the verdict, for the verdict. All right, let's end the poll, guys. Let's end the poll. So, we have, oh my God, they're going up. The votes are still going. Closing the poll. So, verdict will be 73% said acquitted on both. 19% think a split verdict, one guilty, one not guilty, and 7% say guilty on both, with a total of 1,606 votes. So, and I wonder, does Law and Crime still have theirs up? I don't know. I don't know. They must have, maybe they closed their poll or maybe this message blocks it. Aha. So they have almost 12,000 votes and they only have guilty or not guilty, and it's 76 not guilty, 24 guilty on the law and crime poll. Yeah, this is true, JT. Like, people could be voting based on what they want the verdict to be, not necessarily what they think the verdict could be. And there is a difference. There is a difference. Hold on, we have FFS here with the oh dear, and Franju P. Diddy with the oh poop emoji. Taco Tuesday with the reminder that it is Taco Tuesday. This is very true, very true. Oh, we have sound again. We have sound. All right, and since we're on the seal, I don't want to pull it up, but you guys said look at Mel's tweet. Yeah, Mel says, seeing these outlets report on the verdict, which has not been read yet, is wild. The jurors just walked in the courtroom. Yep, and outlets will do that. Outlets will certainly do that. Yeah, blatantly blatant. Good to see you. Yeah, they've got the wrong state in this thing that you're seeing on Twitter. Super fake, super fake. Unscripted Angel says the law is written so tricky. I don't know, but hoping for not guilty. Yeah, I don't know. If the jurors are in, what are we waiting on? I mean, maybe the 4 p.m. thing was like, we're gonna just do this at 4 p.m. Maybe Rocky's not in there. And Carrie Johnson, have I been following the Karen Reed trial? I've been trying. I watched the whole trial when it was taking place. I looked at some of the pre-trial motions and tried to follow some of the stuff after the trial. But it's really a lot. It's like a full-time thing to try to even pay attention to it. So I'll defer to others that want to learn about that case. I mean, there's so many other channels covering it. But it's really interesting. Really interesting. Oh yeah, I'll change my video title. My bad, chat. I don't even remember what my title is. Verdict Watch. They cut the sound again. Why do they keep doing this to us? Oh, goodness. Okay, edit this. Get a better title going. All right, so that's updated there. Oh, hold on. Let me get you Mel's X. It's okay. So Mel on X is You've YOUVE Mel MEL. So it's like you've got Mel instead of you've got mail, but there's no O in the word got. So here is the link in the chat for you there. But her name is always tricky for whatever reason. When you're typing things left to right on Twitter, if one letter's different, it won't pull it up in related search results. So Yeah, Carissa's not gonna lie. Couldn't stand to watch one more day of Lewin. Frog says, when is Courtney trial? I mean, there's a whole wrench in that plan because it looks like they're going to be able to depose the lead prosecutor. And if they get certain information out of that deposition, the defense has been saying they plan to move to disqualify the state attorney's office from prosecuting that case. So if that plays out, the case won't happen this year, I'm sure, because it'll be a whole new DA's office that has to step in, attorney's office. But if they do the deposition and they decide they're not going to move to disqualify, it probably months down the line either way. But she's been in custody for several years now, right? I think she went to custody in 2023, or was it 2022? 2023. So let's see. The Honorable that. Thanks for joining us for Verdict. Says, still throws me for a loop that on the biggest stage, YouTube, LOL, these DAs act so unprofessional. You just know it's way worse / unfair for your average attorney / defendant, rather they're guilty or not. Yeah, like the spotlight's on you and you're still pulling this. And I think in part that's, I think Love took a lot of things personally and wanted to win, but like her taking things personally was a higher priority for her than wanting to win. Both were high priorities, but one was slightly higher than the other. For John Lewin, I think caring about his pride, a high priority, but winning by any means necessary is a higher priority than his personal pride. So they have the same combination of both, but I really feel like Love would be arguing in court out of hurt feelings, but Lewin is actually arguing because he wants to be louder than the defense might be in the media. He really does not like things being said out loud to the point where the YouTubers will hear. Like, oh no. So you say something, he's going to say something louder. I'll air everything out. Ooh, I'm scared. You should be, Joe. Like, that whole interaction, to me, I read that as John Lewin wanting to win the what the YouTubers hear battle. So, yeah, so we did not get the verdict read yet. If they're doing it at exactly 4, it's like a minute and a half away. So, 4 p.m. Pacific. But great food for thought here. The Honorable that. Always love this name change, by the way. But super, super good food for thought. I mean, what happens in courtrooms where there aren't cameras? Or there's just no interest, right? What happens when there's no attention put on a trial? So, Welsh Lady Reeves, thank you so much here for the super. Says, Kat, if you ever feel like watching a trial with Lewin antics, if I ever feel like it, and how he's adept at using tech. Oh, the Robert Durst trial is fascinating. 3 red rums, right. The defense from Texas, oh boy. A suggestion for a nostalgic trial, my lovely. So I'm getting the read here that it wasn't exactly accurate to say Lewin wouldn't be capable of doing the thing Mr. P said he wasn't capable of doing. So that's interesting. That is very interesting. And I don't know, the Robert Durst trial, I think that was all streamed. So it could be possible to do this. Could be possible. Why are the lights flickering in the court? Maybe it's just the camera. Maybe they're adjusting the settings. The lights are going out in the courtroom. Oh, goodness. Let me just flip over here. Okay, so Mel says 2 minutes ago that the media's not in the courtroom yet. The cameraman is. They're sitting outside the courtroom. And they haven't seen Rocky yet. His attorneys walked in about 10 minutes ago. So. Retweet that. Big thank you again to Welsh Lady Reeves. Chloe Albert's Revenge says, Bev was panting hard today. Yes, guys. So there was, let me get through this because maybe Chloe spells it out better than I will. Bev was panting hard today after Brennan misspoke and gave her a reason to think she can boot Alan Jackson from Karen Reed's defense team. So there was a confusion and a huge dramatic moment today where Brennan, prosecutor for the Commonwealth in the Karen Reed case, makes an argument that, hey, you know, we just recently found out that there might have been payments between ARCA, who used to be contracted by the FBI, but they are no longer. And during trial 1, they were expert witnesses for the defense. Well, we think we just came across some information that there were payments for expert witness testimony and work before the FBI released them as contractors. And from what I'm getting here from Chloe Albert's Revenge, the timelines didn't match up the way the prosecution thought they might have. But Beverly Cannoni, Judge Beverly Cannoni, she said, hold on, we're going into recess. She was gone for quite a bit. She comes back around and she says, you know, something of grave concern. And she ends the hearing for the day. So, and she was visibly like, Chloe, you've got it. Like, it was visible. And I get that I say, like, how much should we judge body language? How much can we really see? Oh, someone's facial expression can make them look really sad, but maybe they were just looking down quick and they're actually really happy in the moment. Who knows? But she seemed like she was amped up, maybe adrenaline going there. Okay, yep, so you guys got it. So Siege411 says the DOJ paid that invoice. Joan says Brennan lied again and Bev believed it. And to me, it's really interesting because from what I've been able to see, I haven't, again, been all the way in on stuff that's happened since the jury was hung in the first trial. But there were a lot of issues where the judge was like, it's okay, not a big deal. It was, keep it moving, not a big deal. So to see her act like this was a big deal, and maybe if what Brennan thought could be a possibility was the reality, then it could have been a big deal if that was actually what was happening, right? I'm not saying that at face value, if it was true, that it wouldn't have been a bad thing for the defense to disclose late. But if it's not what happened, and the judge finally gets worked up about something, when she didn't get worked up at all during other discovery issues that went against the defense the rest of the trial, the rest of this case, the scales seem a little off. A lot off. Jim says that's so laughable. ARCA isn't going to blow their reputation over a couple of racks. So, yeah, J9 Yost, and you know, I was watching on split screen. It wasn't even a full screen. J9 Yost says she was literally shaking, couldn't hold her glasses. Yeah, you could see it. And Chloe says the email's undated. Oops. Oh, interesting. So Sarah Hayes says Lewin was the attorney that contacted Alan Jackson about the dog doc. EDB told us on her stream. That's really interesting. All right, now they're saying Court TV 720. Lewin has arrived. Lewin has arrived, chat. I see familiar faces in the comments here. Lewin has arrived. And holy moly, Idiot Wind! Oh my gosh, you made it in time for verdict. You made it in time. So Idiot Wind is making 20 people green. This is super generous. Big shout out here to Idiot Wind. Idiot Wind is sponsoring the final countdown here. So if you guys are turning green, or even if you aren't, show some love to Idiot Wind. It's one of the opportunities where you can yell idiot in all caps in the chat. Let's see. I keep checking to make sure we're like real time on this. We are all the way forward, chat. Big love here to Idiot Wind. Yeah, I don't know. To be honest, 20 minutes isn't that far away at this point. Aw, Leah's dad says, wait, I actually got a membership? LMAO, I was just appreciating. Yeah, you're green. So it doesn't show on the screen, but I can see your name is green back here now. There is no... You can hear me though, right? There's no courtroom sound. There's no courtroom sound. The chat is getting nervous. Oh. Yeah, the last update I see is from 10 minutes ago from Mel saying Rocky's attorneys walked in, and then the 5 minutes ago, Lewin walking in. So, let's see. Miss Kim's. Good to see you, Miss Kim's. Says, hi all. I'm sending blessings and love to Rocky and his family, and to you guys also. I pray that Relly even is seen for who he is. Money is the root to all evil. Yeah, big time. Big time. I feel like a lot of the cases that I'm interested in involve like money or resentment or a combination of both. Right? Like, oh boy. Like even YSL, I would say like they eyeballed a lot of the YSL trial came down to who they were pinning as being the leader, having a ton of money from activities that are provably not from anything gang related. So, oh my gosh, Scott in the chat. Scott says that Lewin's gonna object during the verdict reading. Stop it. Don't give him an idea. He could be watching this. Don't do it. Oh my goodness. Holy moly. Oh my goodness. The whole chat's like, yes, 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 he would. He would do that. Oh my gosh. Yeah, for real. And I mean, I don't know if they'll remand him right away. I know that they said that the judge is going to be the decider for 2 aggravating factors, rather than let the jury decide on that, if it comes down to that. ASAP Slime says you really need to check out the YNW Melly case, Cat. Yeah, so that's something I actually watched with Legal Vices. So rest in peace, Legal Vices. Over on X, I keep up with the updates that Boom Paulson posts. And I do think that that's going to be interesting. Again, another Florida case where, you know, if the prosecution thinks that it's such an airtight case, why are they crossing over the bounds of their ethics as a means to an end? What else is new? What else is new? So, another one. Another one. And there's a lot going on there. I don't have the capacity to follow it in detail. So the best place... for like, as far as motions, everything like that, Bryson Boom Paul is always posting them. So there is a link to him in the chat. And if you want to go find him after, it's Bryson Boom Paul as his handle here. And, you know, I might try to, like, look at it, watch it. I am still paying attention to it. I just can't commit. I really like to, like, this was a short trial, so I could deep dive into it. But sometimes when so much has already gone by, I don't feel like I can catch up. Yeah, Yvette. Jeff was, definitely. Jeff made that trial so funny. Rest in peace. Yep, ASAP Slime says using an investigation to hide stuff and spy. I mean, that's really similar to what the state attorney's office tried to argue with the Clenny case. And the judge called them out on it. They said, you know, what's the criminal exception to the attorney-client privilege rule? And they're like, oh, we're not sure. Oh. And judge is like, oh, okay, well, seems like you violated attorney-client privilege then. And then when the judge said that, the prosecution decided to drop the laptop charges that they had against Clenny and her parents, her mom and dad. So, and now all of that's spilling over into the Clenny, the homicide, the murder case. So, and it's just like one of those things, you know, I'll say with Courtney Clenny, I don't think, to be honest, rather than possibly move to try to disqualify the state attorney's office, she might be better off being able to take all of this into trial with them and be able to tell a jury about it. Because I don't think the facts of her case look good for her at all. They really... maybe the stuff that I'm thinking about will somehow be excluded. I don't think it's part of the iCloud and search warrants that are the point of contention here with this attorney-client privilege violation. But she's got her own personal journal notes saying that she would hit him and get into these fights to relieve tension. Now, she's lodging self-defense. If your intent when you hurt somebody is not to protect yourself, but your intent is to relieve stress. Yeah, Michael says we'll need a 60-second all caps after the verdict. Yep, as soon as they read it, guys, you can do all caps. You can do all caps. Oh, and Jim, I know you like reading. If you want a 400-page Cellbrite extraction of the Notes app from Courtney Clenny's iPhone, let me know. It's full of grocery lists, OnlyFans ideas, and venting about her now deceased ex-boyfriend. So, if you're into that, some light reading. Hey to Amy E, good to see you. Thank you for the reminder. Amy says, hit that like button. Hit that like button. Oh, we could do the double mirror stream. Where, like, the screens just keep going and going, the infinity mirror. All right, I'll send it to you. There are some phone numbers and emails in it. Even though they redacted, like, medical, like, prescription names, they didn't redact other people's stuff, so you know not to share certain things. I'll find it for you and I'll send it to you. I think it's like 380 pages. The verdict is supposed to be, like, right now. I guess in 5 minutes. And Mel says hasn't seen Rocky yet. So could be waiting on Rocky. Chill. My comment is in your name, Chill. Shout out to Chillmonger. The ultra unserious serious takes from Chillmonger. Oh my goodness. Jim, I think what you're gonna think is interesting about these extractions is you don't really see much editing, but the notes from, like, the day of the big fight before everything happens, there's a bunch of edits logged. So, yes, Mel, I'm not a lawyer, is in court. Yeah, where is ASAP Tom? Is he in the courtroom? Is he in the courtroom? Is Micah in the chat? Micah might be over with Justice Served, if Justice Served is live. I'm assuming that they are live. But Micah, you guys know Micah in the chat, started the ASAP taco thing, and Joe Tacopina said that Rocky told him about it. They like it. They like it a lot. So there's no trial date here for Courtney Clenny. It's kicked down the road a long ways. There's no date because the prosecution had to just read more than they needed to read. Yeah, this was the case that Lewin, the Ninth Circuit case, was Bradford. Let me find a link really quick. Bradford Lewin. Okay, so in the chat there, just linked. It's Bradford v. Paramo. For anyone that wants to look it up after the stream. Yes, Lucinda. So Courtney Clenny is the OnlyFans chick that threw a knife or flung it. She said she flung it at her boyfriend from the other side of the room. She said she was 10 feet away on like the other side of the kitchen. That is, yes, Courtney Clenny. So. Guys. So Mel is relaying an update from the court. The update was, we are just waiting. Oh, goodness. So no, you haven't missed the jury. If you're joining now, we are still waiting. Wait, Jim, are you unaware of the Courtney Clenny case? Yeah, she threw the knife one time. From what, this is her telling of it, right? Nobody else was there to see it. There's no video. It was just him and her in the residence. She says that they were fighting and he just got done pinning her down, that he was holding her neck. There's no marks indicating that. And then when she got up, she went to the other side of the room and she grabbed a knife and threw it from 10 feet away, and it plunged in his chest. And she said during her interrogation that she knew not to pull the knife out. She said, "Oh God, no, I would never do that. That's the one thing I know not to do." So she says that she didn't pull the knife out. I'm not really sure on that because, I mean, I guess he could have pulled it out himself, but on the body cam, it's really graphic, you guys. On the body cam, when the first officers on scene arrive, she's still holding him and he's barely able to talk. He groans a little bit and the officers go over and he's not responsive. He's not responding with words. They flip him over on his torso where the knife, if it was still in at that point, would be sticking out. And they handcuff him. So she got him, and she says that she didn't pull the knife out. Somebody must have pulled it out. That's her telling of it. That is her telling of it. Yep, she rang her mom before calling 911. Yeah, and I don't know. I don't even know if it's going to come down to a throwing it versus running at him, because what confuses me is, you know, if he was also staying at that residence, he was staying at the property, she let him back in, they had a fight, but he was staying there, his stuff was there. If you're 10 feet away and you say later that your phone was in the bedroom right there, like you go through the bedroom door from where you would have been standing in theory 10 feet away behind like a kitchen island apart from him, you could have gone in there and locked the door. And we don't hear her talk about that. So to me, a better self-defense argument would actually be he was right up on you and you had no choice. Throwing from far away, I don't know if that really seems like a just to scare him kind of thing. So, I don't know. And we are real time, so we still don't have... They're gonna make us wait the full 90 minutes. Also shout out here, ASAP Slime says, with the YNW Melly case, also Nick Starrow's been covering with videos. And I'm assuming he has a playlist. I was thinking Nick's been... So I've covered Courtney Clenny. I do think Nick is covering Courtney Clenny as well. I know Courtney Clenny was another one that Legal Vices was covering. Rest in peace. Let's see. YNW. Yes, okay, so he has a playlist here. Why wouldn't it let me share a playlist link? Okay, never mind. Got it. Okay, so there is Nick Starrow's YNW Melly playlist. I don't know, is Cuff Boys doing YNW Melly? So Courtney Clenny, the incident happened before Jonathan Majors, but then there was like a whole mess of her not being arrested, right? Let's see. She was arrested in August. Yeah, okay, so she was arrested in August 2022, even though the incident happened on April 3rd in 2022. Okay, so Last Nihilist says Cam covers Melly, so yes, Cuff Boys is also covering YNW Melly. Oh my god, the whole chat is like, yeah. You guys are like doing For Non-Blonde karaoke here. Yes, big love to... Like, my brain is just thinking of like 200 videos on YSL from Cuff Boys, so I couldn't think about it. You guys already know. If you guys are not following Cam or Cuff Boys, there is a link in the chat for you. Also, he's done some recaps on ASAP Rocky, so if you got into it late but want the catch up on how the trial went, I think he'll get you caught up to speed. Chloe Albert's Revenge says, Idiot Wind is a good description for Bev's breathing today. Oh my god, Chloe. Oh my goodness. Chloe's with the mostest. Yeah, I don't know about them changing the time. I think they're just waiting. And process of elimination. We've got Lewin. We've got the defense attorneys. We've got the jury. The court is there. It looks like we're waiting on Rocky. And then Derek, thank you so much for the super sticker. Hold on, I gotta pull it up over here. Oh, wait, it's just a comment. Thank you for the chat. It's not a sticker, it's just a chat. Thank you so much. Yeah, Here Comes Drama says literally the worst time to go anywhere in LA. Yeah, I definitely think it's just Rocky that we're missing here. But I did notice their banner. They took down the time that was here. It just says jury has reached a verdict. They said we're done predicting the time. Here comes drama. Can you imagine if he like booked a stay at the Lowe's or W Hotel to be closer to the courthouse or something? I don't know if it's that close to the courthouse, but just saying. Yeah, this is a crazy time. 4 o'clock, LA traffic. Can you imagine? Yeah, he's stuck at all the red lights. Can you imagine getting pulled over, like traffic stop, on your way to court? That has to be like, it's already nerve-wracking, but then it's like double nerve-wracking because now you're gonna be late to court. Exception says they're bringing in the prop gun. So coupon list, this is the camera guy's setup. This is what everybody's pulling from right now. And unless there's been a change, Mel said they were still outside. Yeah, no new updates. Yeah, Soldier says jury is thinking now that they should have skipped lunch and gone straight to verdict. Yeah, because if you think about it, I mean, they would have been, well, if it was a court day, they would have been wrapping up right about now. So, okay, and Twitter just told me, okay, Kathy does have an update. Yep, waiting on Rocky. Waiting on Rocky. Becky, yes. So, and while it would be really, really close if he shows up in the final minute here, I do think that this is like the 90-minute window exhausting itself, like right now. Yeah, not a good day to be late. Yeah, I don't know. He's lucky, gotta be lucky that you're not holding someone up, right? The jury already has their decision. And Miss Kim, thanks for the reminder. Guys, while we wait, plenty of time here to hit that like button. Show some love. You can hit it more than once, just make sure you hit it an odd number of times. Oh, the law and crime chat is broken, chat. The chat crashed out. The chat is going crazy, the lawn crime chat. So good to see you, Black Butterfly. Rocky dragging isn't a good sign. God, I'm praying. I don't think it's a good look, but I think it's a bit inconsequential since the jury already has their verdict. And I don't think him being late, I don't think he would know either way. I don't think he would know. Grace says, I know we're waiting on the defendant, but I still somehow blame Lewin. It's like that. I feel that. As far as next case, I don't know. I don't know. I'll be hanging out and watching a bunch of cases and probably talking about it on X, but not really covering too much. If for whatever reason the Courtney Clenny case happens sooner rather than later, I definitely plan to cover that. I don't know, a lot of cases are getting kicked back. All right, so Drea says that justice served. Chat says Rocky just arrived. So maybe they're relaying confirmation there from somebody else. But who? But who? So Peter Steele says not the second YSL trial. That's kicked back till the summer. That's supposed to start after the 4th of July now. So that's a ways away. Mom of 6 says he happens to be on the same flight as Relly. CEO, you didn't miss much. We are still waiting on the verdict. We're waiting on Rocky to arrive so they can read the verdict. Chloe says Rocky, I was wondering the other part of this. Chloe says Rocky found one safe flight out of the US and said, El Mio, bye! Oh my goodness. As far as Yak's hearing on 2/26, will that be live? I do feel like they'll put cameras in there because they know that people have been paying attention. That's just the plea hearing and status for one of his cases. I haven't heard any updates. On Friday, he filed a motion for reconsideration of bond. But I didn't hear any updates on that, so. Yeah, and speaking of YNW Bryson Boom Paul just posted the count. Oh, actually, it's a quote, I think, from the judge. From today's hearing, that Mr. Demons, YNW Melly, has now been in custody for 2,202 days, and if one state attorney is not available, maybe one of the other 2 assigned to this case can stand in, and if all 3 are not available, maybe one of the 150 state attorneys upstairs might sit in, said Judge Martin S. Fine in today's hearing. So, Judge is not playing. Judge said, get it together, let's go, in the YNW Melly case. All right, yep, so Mel says hearing Rocky has just arrived. I'm upstairs outside the courtroom. Haven't seen him come up yet. So he could be outside arriving, like the long walk where everybody's waiting outside with cameras. Oh, McMullen. McMullen, Jim. YSL2 is Eppinger, Garlington, and McMullen. Chat, we might have to order dinner. We might have to order dinner. All right, so this should be any minute then. All right, he's walking into the courtroom now, according to Mel. So here we go, chat. Here we go, chat. You guys can use all caps when the verdict comes in. Be respectful and show some love to the mods. Jim, I'm gonna tell her you said that. Renee Stevenson, thanks for being a member for 5 months with the peekaboo eyes. Hey to GGT, you got here just in time. We are about to get the verdict. And Libby, good you got here on time too. We've been here an hour and 40 minutes, chat. Let's see. I gotta make sure I timestamp when we start for the replay crew that just wants to see the reading. Jill, I don't know when sentencing would be. So and I don't really know if they would ask for a lot of time or just like ask for some time to. I know the defense has some issues they want to raise. They also have a writ with an issue that the jury pool, it's non-representational. It's not a good cross-section of the LA community where this trial is taking place. So there's no Black jury members. And beyond that, there were no Black veneer persons, so potential jurors. So the pool itself wasn't a representative cross-section of the community. So they have that writ in place. I don't know how quickly they could make an issue out of that. In addition, I'm sure there's plenty of other, I don't know, can you imagine like a judgment notwithstanding verdict and the judge granting it? I can't imagine, like that's such a rarity. But can you imagine how Lewin would react to something like that? I don't have that writ, Obi. I don't have the writ. Yeah, we are all the way live. I don't think it'll be a mistrial because they said that they have a verdict, so they shouldn't be hung. So this is why I made the distinction, Shane. So yeah, they agree on the jury, but the issue that the defense raised was the pool of potential jurors was not a representation of the community. So the pool they have to choose from, they have to move forward and choose somebody anyway. But when they raised the issue, the appeals court, basically told them to hold it later as an appellate issue. All right, so chat saying Mel said they're going in. Mom and sister are there. ASAP Rocky's mom and sister are sitting front row. according to Nancy Dillon. I wish they would give us like the background noise. Yeah, the deliberation clock was what? 3 hours? Maybe I can see it in the little thumb. Oh no, I cannot see that. Let me open another window. 3 hours, 53 minutes was the total deliberation time. Although 30 seconds, would we round that up to 3 hours, 54 minutes? So maybe it was 3 hours, 54 minutes, rounding up. Oh, they're saying no sign of Rihanna. Well, don't forget they have an hour and a half lunch. And then it's been like, like what? It's been about an hour and 45 minutes since they said that they had a verdict. So more than 3 hours of today has been downtime. Yeah, and the lunch was like an hour and a half on the nose. Oh my god, they're zooming in on the seal. This is so dramatic. They just zoomed in. I don't know, has anybody ever watched a trial where the verdict was in and it took this long to get it going? Oh, heck yeah. Crushing hard on Max Shart says Judge Whittaker would never have us waiting this long. She didn't even want to read out the verdict. She said, Mr. Stillwell, you're guilty on one charge and not guilty on all the others. Let's wrap it up. She said, out of here. Yeah, that's how I feel. It's going fast in the chat here. That's how I feel, Melissa. The reasonable doubt is truly astronomical, but juries are sketchy. Yep. Yeah, an all-white jury with a black man with a pew-pew. And for what it's worth, I do think it's very helpful for the defense that they have an issue preserved about the pool of potential jurors. I can't predict on where that could go if it comes down to that, but I think it's there for them to rely on if needed. Yeah, allegedly, maybe says Whittaker had it read before her butt hit the chair. Yeah, heart of inspiration. Yeah, he should have been closer. I'm nosy. I want to know, like, why the delay? Why the delay? Not that I think we'll get an answer. I think it's 7 jurors are women and 5 are men. I thought it was 8 and 4, but I more recently saw somebody report 7 women, 5 men. I wish they would like zoom out on the seal. The cameraman could just start doing like cool visuals for us, keep us engaged while we wait. Okay, Miranda also said 4 female alternates. And I do think that sucks, being an alternate after sitting there. Although I'm sure some people might be relieved, right? I'm sure there's probably cases where I'd be relieved that I didn't. I don't know. Like, if I felt like I had a bad vibe about somebody, I would not want to deliberate. I would not want to go back to deliberations, because I don't really think that that's. I get that you can kind of use your vibe in deliberations, but I feel wrong about it. Motions hearing. Okay, so link in the chat for the motions hearing if you missed it from this morning. Well, we watched it when Law and Crime was able to grab it like 2 hours ago, but the arguments took place this morning. Oh, Renee says, when I was on a jury, we had our verdict in 10 minutes. We sat and talked so it wasn't so fast, lol. Weren't they told, like, not to go back there and just announce what they were thinking? That they actually should take the time to talk about everything? So, can you imagine marching back there and just having to sit there because you were told you can't just announce where you're leaning? And I don't see any updates over on, let's see, Mel? Mel just says everybody's scooting in together so more people can fit in the courtroom. Yeah, Jim, if you all agree, I don't know what you're supposed to do. Just sit there and twiddle thumbs. Wait till you get your free lunch. Well, actually, wait. Were they provided lunch? Or did they have to deal with their own lunch? Oh, I bet the court is packed. I bet the court is packed. Okay, so they're getting provided lunch. Own lunch. Okay, we got conflicting. Yeah, I think it's different depending on the courtrooms. Yeah, some places I see buy your own lunch. It's different in different courts. So I'm just saying I don't know what they did here. Okay, so Renee says we took a poll, and as soon as we picked the foreman, everyone said guilty. So we did talk about it for a few, but it was a felony DV case, and case was open and shut. Yeah, and I think like the poll, I don't know, like you can take a poll and kind of make it seem it'll indicate where as a group you are without it having to let any one person have to be put on the spot and be the first to speak what their view is. So I think the polls are helpful. Yeah, Chloe, if they are getting free lunch, they're waiting till after they eat. Might as well, might as well. All right, so Rihanna's coming in now. All right, so what else are we waiting for? What else are we waiting for? For what it's worth, this is not Rihanna's trial, but you know. Shout out to LP322 being a member here for 6 months. Thank you so much. Yeah, when Michelle says they had that verdict before lunch, filled out paperwork after lunch. Could be, could be.
Notified that the jury has
Here we go.
verdicts on counts 1 and 2, and I believe the judicial assistant Alex has confirmed that, yes?
We were told they had a verdict, Your Honor. That's correct.
Both sides ready for the jury? Yes.
Yes, sir.
I think they're going to the seal while everyone comes out. They didn't cut the sound. You can hear everybody filing in. I'm nervous, you guys.
All right, we're on the record with all jurors present, all parties of counsel are present. Juror 9, you are the foreperson?
Yes.
And,
Lewin.
It is true that the jury has reached verdicts
Yes, Your
on
Honor.
both counts?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you have the verdict forms with you?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, could you give those to Deputy Bennett? All right, what we're going to do, folks, is Deputy Bennett is going to give the verdict forms to juror number 1. Juror number 1, I want you to look at the verdict forms, and I'm going to want to know whether these verdict forms reflect your true and correct verdicts. Juror 2, I'd like you to look over her shoulder so you can review the verdict forms. And I want to know from you whether these are your true and correct verdicts. Once I've heard from both of you, give the verdict forms to juror number 3. Juror 3, look at the verdict forms. Juror 4, look over her shoulder. So ultimately, I'm going to want to hear from all 12 of you whether these verdict forms reflect your individual true and correct verdicts. Everybody understand? All right.
It looks like Alex is smiling to me.
Juror number 1, are those your 2 correct verdicts? Juror number 2?
Yes.
Juror 3 and 4?
Yes.
Juror 5 and 6? Juror 5, are those your 2 correct verdicts? Yes. Juror 6? All right, let's get the verdict forms to Juror 7. Juror 8, look over your shoulder. Juror number 7, those are your 2 correct verdicts? Juror 7?
Yes.
Juror 8?
Yes.
9 and 10? Juror 9?
Yes.
Juror 10?
Yes.
11 and 12. Juror 11?
Yes.
Juror 12?
Yes.
All right, all jurors have stated that the verdict forms reflect their individual true and correct verdict. Alex, read the
Yes, Your Honor. The Los Angeles Superior Court, County of Los Angeles. People of the State of California versus Joaquin Mayers. Case number BA 508142-01. We, the jury in the above entitled action, find the defendant, Joaquin Mayers, not guilty of...
Now get the audience. Or now get the audience.
That's one count.
Hold it down, hold it down. Verdict has to be read up.
Yes, Your Honor. Repeat again. We, the jury, above entitled actions, find the defendant, Joaquin Mayers, not guilty of the semi-automatic firearm in violation of Penal Code Section 245 Section B. A felony is charging count 1 of the information this 18th day of February 2025, jury seat number 9, 4%.
All right.
Title court and cause. We, the jury, and the above entitled action, find the defendant, Joaquin Mayers, not guilty of the crime of assault with a firearm in violation of Penal Code Section 245, Section B, a felony of charging count 2 of the information this 18th day of February 2025, juror seat number 9, 4%.
During this trial, I watched you
Holy moly.
periodically. You did what we asked of you at the very beginning, which is to give both sides a fair trial, pay attention, use your common sense, apply the law, and base your verdict on the evidence. I know you took extensive notes, and you took this as seriously as any jury could. We cannot have jury trials without folks like you. So you certainly have my gratitude. I want to extend to you my best wishes. Again, thank you. The admonition to not discuss the case no longer applies. You can talk about the case with anybody you want to, or nobody if you don't want to. Alex has your certificates of completion. You can take your juror badges with you. Thank you again. You are excused.
Everybody remain seated in the public. We're going to let the jurors walk out first.
I'm really happy.
Thank you. Thank you, Your Honor.
This is awesome. You can see the thank you in the captions. Yeah, we're gonna replay it. We're gonna replay it as soon as it closes out.
All right, the jury is left. The bond is exonerated. Mr. Mayers, you're excused.
Look at Lewin. Hey, Lewin.
Yeah. No, conflict.
Oh my gosh.
Everybody in the back row, you need to exit.
That is such good news. And holy moly, could they take any longer to read that? You know, we'll keep this up. We will replay it, but I want to keep this up in case they like pop back on. I don't know why they would pop back on the record. But look, what would be one more time? What would be? Thank you, Lawn Crime. Thank you for streaming. Holy moly. Everybody's like, eat it, Lewin. Relly is sick. Yeah, we're going to follow up on the civil actions here. Yes, God is good. Juries can be unpredictable. And can you imagine if they said not guilty on the first and then after they celebrated guilty on the second? I'm so glad. Because in my bones, I was like, I don't know. They're probably not guilty on both, but I don't know. I don't know. Crushing Heart on Max Short said, I forgot I was in class. I muted my class and teacher. Were you just on the class Zoom like, Lewin's running out of there. Positive cues, popping bottles. Dre Max Show, good to see you. I'm glad he's free. Glad he is free. Tiffany Hargrove says he's got 30 million problems and really ain't one. Can't wait to see how that plays out now. Again, civil cases can have different outcomes than criminal cases, but we'll see. We'll see. The stuff that happened under oath here for Terrell Efron in this trial, I don't think would be very helpful for him in his civil cases, especially with that phone call audio. Can we have a moment for those who, I don't know, I still can't get the argument that audio recording with Wally was helpful to the prosecution. I cannot see it. I cannot see how it was helpful for them. And I would love to hear from a juror. I know Mel said she wants to interview a juror. So make sure you guys are following Mel. Let me get her link. She said she didn't want to feel like a stalker, but she's going to try to catch the jurors to see if someone will talk about their experience sitting on this trial. Make sure you guys are following Mel with I'm Not a Lawyer But is her channel and her TikTok name. Like, incredible, guys. Yeah, Abundance and Clarity says I would sue Relly. There are certain things that are protected, right? You can't, like, I don't know. Although, and big shout out to Justice Served TV. If you guys didn't see their interview with Joe Tacopina, make sure you go check that out. So JSTV interview with Joe. Oh, wrong link. That was Mel's link. So the second one is the correct one for Justice Served TV. But they had Joe on, and Joe, he said, look, we want to get through this. We want to see what the verdict is first, but it might be on the table that they'll file an ethics complaint, take some sort of action about this case being brought in the way that it was brought. So stay tuned for that. Ashley says, oh my sweet Jesus, thank you, not guilty. Rocky free. Yeah, we're gonna do the Jeffrey, but with Rocky. Love that a lot. I'm glad you were here for the verdict, Ashley. That girl Mia, this is the actual membership anniversary? That's awesome. That girl Mia says, what a day to celebrate my membership. Heck yeah, this is awesome. This is seriously, I mean, I really want, like, as a streamer, I want to get on here and be like, guys, like, come on. This is absolutely going to be not guilty. Like, that's what I wanted from myself looking at it. There's no way I could sit in that deliberation room and convict Rocky. There's absolutely no way. But I couldn't predict it. So I'm just so happy we finally have the verdict read out loud. We have Alex telling us that the jury unanimously decided to acquit Rakeem Myers on both charges. Suck it, Lewin. Like, Lewin just turned up out of there. There's no more for Lewin. Lewin's got nothing left. It's done. He lost. So this is a great day to celebrate. Barb K said, I asked AV to the 7th power. Let me get her link, by the way. To invite Lanyard Lewin. I was like, so my eyes didn't see the Lewin part of this. I saw the Lanyard. I was like, what are we getting into AV and Lanyard about? What are we doing with AV and Lanyard? Um, but shout out to AV. You're calling Lewin Lanyard Lewin on afterward. You should also invite him to make an ass out of himself as you ask logical questions. I don't know. I don't feel like I could do an interview with integrity with Lewin. I don't think I could do it. Like, I feel like I would crash out on my own interview as a host with Lewin. Like, if he talked to me the way he was talking in court, I think I would, like, take him off the screen, and I don't want to do an interview that goes that way. So, but shout out to AV. She's also been covering this case as well as a lot of others. I saw the Keefe D case, the Tupac case, is being pushed to next year. I know she was covering that, and so even though she won't be covering that case until it starts next year, she might cover why that's happening. So if you're interested in news on that, check out AV, of course, for that, for more coverage on Rocky if you want to do a rewind. And I do believe she's covering Karen Reed Part 2. So I know she's been catching up with Part 1. So I believe she's going to be covering the second trial when it's live. Thank you here for the super as well, Barb K. Here comes drama. Thank you for the huge 20 super chat here. Relly is crashing out. Yeah, maybe he's like on an island somewhere. Maybe not, but he's crashing out 30 times. 30 times. So, I would love to be a fly on a wall for Relly's reaction. For Ben and Camille's reaction to the verdict reading. I would love to be a fly on the wall. So thank you here, Honorable. Yeah, that. Timepiece Esquire says women will forgive anything, not guilty, ASAP Rocky. I don't think that this is true about women forgiving anything. I think some women will hold on to things for a very long time. I think, you know, people are very different. But I do feel like, you know, maybe, and I would love to hear from them, maybe the women didn't find Relly credible for things that they felt like they could personally relate to, relating to stories about his girlfriend, the way he worded certain things. So I do think there might be a demographic truth to this, but I don't think that this was simply a decision of women on the jury forgiving Rocky, and that's why they came to the verdict. Not sure if that's what you mean, though, and that's just my opinion here. Thank you for sharing yours. Chloe Albert's Revenge says Lewin's gonna cry in the car. Hold on, wait. Do we have the salty tears? Hold on now. Hold on now, chat. Let's run this back one more time. Brand new. Try our new water, Lewin's Tears. We've got a collab. Bottled straight at the source. Comes in 2 flavors, bitter lemon and sour grape. $1 each. Start crying today. So big thank you there. That is Chloe Albert's Revenge, creative genius on the scripting, and Flesh of the Gods on the visuals there. We had an epic collab here for this trial. Yeah, so crying in the car, making more of the Lewin's Tears beverages for you guys to enjoy. Black Butterfly says, Kat, I'm so glad to watch and share my happiness with you. Another great win. Right? I'm nervous for when there's like, we had it a bit with the Jonathan Majors trial because it was a split. It was like not guilty of the charges involving intent, guilty on the charges that were reckless, and the jury wasn't instructed on self-defense justification, right? But that wasn't televised, so like I had time. There was space, right? There was space between the verdict coming in and jumping on and going live to talk about it. So that was a little bit different. I haven't actually had to be live when a verdict is read, and I'm really scared for the moment where it's like a guilty verdict or even a not guilty verdict that I like really disagree with and I just like cry on stream or something. So definitely glad to not be here alone and glad that you're here, Black Butterfly. Shauna, thank you for the 5. Thank you so much for the support. I don't know, why is this squishy? My chat, are they squishy? Are the chats squishy on your end, chat? Shauna's getting cut off here. I don't like that. Oh no. I don't know. It's probably because I was playing with the banner earlier. So my bad. Thank you so much, Shauna. Lisa says, my empathetic self is on overdrive. Yeah, no, I really loved seeing them. We're going to replay it, you guys. We're going to replay the jumping moment. Jumping into the gallery, the family screaming. What an incredible moment. And And the judge didn't really snap, right? You want the judge wants no reactions when the verdict's read, but let this one go. Let this one go. Loved it. Speaking of empathy on overdrive, let's see.
All right, what we're going to do, folks, is Deputy Bennett is going to give the verdict forms to...
In the above entitled action, find the defendant, Joaquin Mayers, not guilty of the crime of assault with a firearm in violation of Penal Code Section 2.
Well, this is the second one.
Hold
Hold on. That was the second one. It was still very joyous, but I missed it.
Alex, read this.
Yes, Your Honor. The State of California versus Joaquin Mayers, case number BA 508142-01. We, the jury, the above entitled action, find the defendant, Joaquin Mayers, not guilty of the
Hold on, I'm gonna mute it. Look at his shoe. Look at his shoe when he goes back there, chat. You can see it popping up like right here on the screen. He is swimming.
Now get the audience. Or you can now get the audience.
Hold it down, hold it down. Verdict has to be read on count.
Yes, Your Honor. I'll repeat again. We, the jury, the above entitled action, find the defendant, Joaquin Mayers, not guilty of the crime of semi-automatic firearm in violation of Penal Code Section 245, Section B. A felony is charged in count one of the information this 18th day of February 2025, jury seat number 9, 4-person.
Right.
Title for the cause. We, the jury, in the above entitled action, find the defendant, Joaquin Mayers, not guilty of the crime of assault with a firearm in violation of Penal Code Section 245.
So super, super awesome. I certainly think that Alex sounded happy to read that, and I think I saw Alex smiling. And I don't know if he actually got to see the verdict before they asked if it was a true and correct verdict of all 12. But he was sitting there smiling and looking what appeared to be at the defense half of that tiny table. So I feel like Alex might have seen it in advance, and he definitely sounded happy to read it. Yeah, I don't know who the blonde is with the long hair, potentially part of the legal team. Not sure. Yeah, and this is interesting too. You guys are pointing out Riri, the cameraman. Shout out to the camera person here taking the opportunity to pan the camera to the gallery, which I don't know that they were supposed to do that, but I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Pam says she's over here shedding a thug tear. It's a moment. It's a moment. Pam also says, thank you, Pam. I know Rihanna's back hurts. Yeah, and especially if it's like one of those like wooden bench things behind it and you're like, ugh. So definitely, definitely. He owes her a foot rub for that one. Yeah, the reading felt like it took forever, for sure. The Dre Max show, oh, member for 10 months. Look at that. Look at that. One of my long-term friends here. You know, you guys are all in here. I think Pam's in here. Blue's house is in here. Dre Mac and Chillmonger are all in here. That is the whole Jonathan Majors trial. Not the whole. That is a big part of the Jonathan Majors trial gang. I'm going to drop links to all of them. Pam, you guys know Pam really well. I think you guys, a lot of you in here know Dre Mac, Blue's house, and Chillmonger because you followed the Jonathan Majors trial. But independently, they all have different niches with their channels. So let me see if I can get it right and do right by them. I'm going to start with Pam. Now, Pam covers what I would say all things tea and shenanigans. She will say she does movie and TV reviews. She does, but she adds wisdom and flair along the way. Love every part of it. She also covers a ton of what's going on in the legal space, especially when it overlaps with celebrity. So again, Jonathan Majors, ASAP Rocky, Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni, a lot of stuff going on over there. So make sure you check her out. Chillmonger, one of the greatest names, YouTube names of all time. And I don't think he realizes how proud I was to come up with the joke. He told me a long time ago, like, are you ever going to brand your channel? And it was just Cat. And I changed it because anytime someone talked about kattnotwilliams, my name was getting tagged in YouTube chats. But I was like, chill, I came up with a name. I'm just going to be Chillmonger with a K. And I was so proud of it. I was so proud of that joke. But Chillmonger, in addition to having great and unabridged insight on the Jonathan Majors trial, covers like really all things comics. And that is not my space, but I do try to learn from him, and he's a great teacher, and he's up on a lot of the news in the comic space and how it's translating into movies and TV shows as well. Dre Mack, similar boat. You'll get to know, if you follow Chill or Dre, you know the other person already. Let me get Dre's channel. And a lot of you were talking about TMZ today. Dre Mack has done commentary with TMZ. So in addition to the comics insight, comics and culture takes, Dre might be familiar to you guys if you've ever seen him pop up on TMZ. Yeah, Chill says Dre is better at live streams. He does do them like daily. He does do them daily. All right, Nadine, we're going to pull up Fox 29 Philadelphia right outside the court. And Blue's house. Let me see. All right, and then Blue's house here. Again, more comics book space, DC versus Marvel. Does a panel show that if you guys are interested in the comics world, not only will you see Chillmonger, but you'll also see, I know She Dreads Me gets on there, sometimes Pam gets on there, and a lot of other creators. So there is Blues in the chat, and let's get this Fox 29. All right, do we get Lewin? Do we get a Lewin appearance? Let's see.
Thank you so much, guys. This is perfect. This is perfect.
Ooh, that door squeak. Shout out to Nadine for letting us know this was live. Oh, and Lauren Victoria Burke in the building as well. The crew is all here.
Everyone just head towards that way because you're heading towards the microphone. So move on. Yeah. Move to your left. Everyone speak on the mic.
Let's back up. Let's back up.
Joe's gonna talk. There's a bunch of microphones there. Oh my god, they're loud.
Don't push me, okay?
Seriously, bro. They're gonna fight. They're gonna fight.
Step back.
Okay, one second, line. All right. If you don't get in line, then we gotta rush through you guys.
Yeah.
Back up. Give me this wall right here. It's an imaginary wall. That's all. That's all it has. Just so we can safely get to the microphone.
On the side. They're going to the mic. Open it up.
They're going to the mic. Good.
They're going to the mic. Open it up.
This is crazy.
Where's the mic? Right here.
Can you get back up? Okay. Hey, do me a favor. No pushing! No congratulations! Congratulations!
Congrats, man.
Back up! Where am I going? It's a war.
You really are going to the mic.
Oh my god.
The mics are right here, guys. The mics are right here. The mics are right here. Mics are right here. Mics are right here. Mics are right here.
Stay back. No.
I'm going home. I'm a court employee and I'm going home.
Hey, everyone, back up!
Back up.
Chad Siegel's trying to clear some space up there.
Back up! Yo, give him respect! Back up, guys! Hey! Down!
All right, let Joe speak, people. Let Joe speak.
Nonetheless, I'm thankful and we're blessed to be here right now, to be a free man talking to y'all. Thank you. All praise to God.
We'll get you passing out. You guys need to have another baby. You guys need to have another baby.
Don't be done.
Guys, I'm gonna... Guys, look, guys.
How do you feel that you're putting your team?
Hey, guys, we can't do this. Everyone's gonna yell. We'll just have to leave. But listen, guys,
Get him in, Joe.
Yo, Rocky, you free. Party
Hey,
at
guys,
Wally's,
chill,
Brody.
relax.
Put your arms down. Water on me. Arms down.
Guys, bottom line is we're grateful for the jury. They saw through this mirage of a case. We said from day one he was innocent. He turned down a plea for almost no jail time because he was innocent. And I've always said this was an extortion. The extortion played out live in color in court. You know, we've always said what it says is that the district attorney should look long and hard at prosecuting Tyrell Efron. We've said that from day one. We've said that from day one. They should do it now. They have him admitting to perjury. They have him committing extortion. The jury saw through it and came to an enormously quick and speedy verdict, the right verdict, and we thank this jury. And again, for me, my partner Chad, we're honored to have represented this amazing family. Rocky is one of my closest friends, but he's also just a great, great person. Rihanna, they are seriously the greatest people, and I said I love them, and I really do love them, and I got emotional in my summation because I care about them. This is one of the happiest days of my life, and I'm happy for them because they've earned this and deserve it.
Get this guy an all day.
Thank you, brother. Okay, guys.
Get this guy an all day.
Oh my God. Wait.
Wait. This is the camera stand.
Back up.
Congratulations, mama. Congratulations.
Back up.
Oh my god, they're trying to be all on TV and the family. Dang, that is crazy. That is crazy there. Oh, my ears like the silence. My ears like that little bit of silence. Oh boy. I'm sure Joe will be making more appearances. Guys, I dropped a link in the chat. Here Comes Drama looped me in that Neek at Night did an interview with the juror. I dropped a link to that. Go watch it on her channel here. I'm dropping the link to it. Make sure you hit that like button there. Oh, I think I linked to the status instead of the YouTube video. So let me relink it again anyway. So there is the juror interview with Neek at Night, and it's Nique to spell Neek at Night. So if you want to look her up, if you're on Replay Crew, that's how you can go and find this juror interview. Big thank you here to Here Comes Drama. And I don't know, there are a bunch of updates here. All right, so Mr. Oh wait, hold on, this isn't the beginning. We were all thinking there was a crime committed, but with the instructions we were given, we all felt it was a real gun. Mr. Lewin, he did a bang-up job, a juror in the ASAP Rock trial. She said she thought both sides were great. She reiterated there just wasn't enough to convict, but they all believed it was a real gun. So there you go. Not enough to convict. Let's see. For Always Forever for Life says, when they read not guilty, I screamed so loud I scared my baby. Yeah, I think a lot of people were screaming. Just like in that courtroom there. Let's see. I don't think... Yeah, I think everything is just repeating the... I'm sure there's going to be a lot of conversation over on X, but a lot of it, what I'm seeing is just repeating, not guilty, courtroom erupted, with some clips of it. So if you're on X, I'm sure the algorithm will find you with posts about the verdict. Let's see. And hold on, what do you mean, why are they playing it everywhere else except here? Do you mean me? Yeah, I love the video of his reaction in court. And like, really, I love it. Like, his reaction's great, but I love his family's reaction. Like, his reaction, I know it's like him on trial, but like his reaction, the family's reaction is like that's what like gets me going, is how the family reacted. Amber C says we all need to have a celebratory donut. No, we got to make the decision at the red light whether we're going to stop and get a donut tomorrow or not, guys. Everybody get a donut. William Malik, thank you so much here for the sticker here. Let's see what we've got. We have... Oh, we have the fist bumps. That's what the sticker is. I hate that StreamYard doesn't show it because I feel like on the other side of the screen you guys think I'm crazy. But I promise, William sent a fist bump sticker. Big thank you here to William. The mouse's ear says, Lewin can get a donut on his way home. Can you imagine if he gets stuck at a red light and it's one of those like malfunctions where the light doesn't actually change because it's not functioning properly? Oh my goodness. Empress Fox says, did you see the salute the judge gave Rocky? No, I missed that. I'm gonna end up replaying this like a bunch of times. Flesh of the Gods is gonna be live tonight, so I'm gonna watch it over there. And then probably a million more times. Let's see. You guys saying court TV? Is there more of a presser? Oh, they just have it up close. But it's the same thing. Oh no, he's back. He's back without the kerfuffle. Is this queued up right?
Not so overly confident because you just never know, but I felt pretty good.
Okay, wait. Maybe there was more and I just couldn't see. All right, we'll let it play a little bit so that way we don't cut off. He was speaking before they put him on the screen.
Answer him.
Damn.
That's why the jury came. And look, it was a quick verdict, right? I mean, they started almost 10 o'clock. They had a lunch break. They watched the video, and they had a verdict. So, you know, for basically 4-week trial, when I heard it was a verdict, I felt pretty good. Not so overly confident because you just never know, but I felt pretty good.
You talked about
I'm not leaving. I'll answer everyone's questions, so don't worry. Yeah.
You talked about your client's raw emotion. You saw it. You dove into to hug his family.
Oh my God, they're zooming in on his face.
The one that had a thunderous
Look at
reaction.
Chad.
Talk about the reaction that we've seen from the public, supporters of his.
Yeah. Look, I've been here for over a month, and me walking around me, I'm not him, right? People were just wishing me luck for him. I mean, he's loved, very well loved in the city, and I think, you know, he's got a lot of fans. And that doesn't happen because he's a singer. It happens because who he is as a person. A lot of what this read in here was who ASAP really is, who ASAP Rocky is as a person. He does incredible charity work. He gives back to the community. He's become a dear friend of mine, more than a client. And that's why cases like this are really difficult for me, because there's so much on the line. I mean, I care about every client I represent to the point where they become family. This was at a different level, and so I was just not prepared for. I would not accept any other verdict.
Why was this one so different? You said you care about every client, but they were like family. What was so special about it?
I bonded over the last 3 years in a way that, you know, and he's just a different person. I attribute that to him, the way he conducts himself, the way he's so appreciative of us, the way he is with his. I mean, I spent time with him and Rihanna at their house, and they're just, you know, this humble and to me, people with that level of success, they are really sweet, good people. And I would have been really, really hurt if this didn't go the right way. But, you know, thank God that jury, we had a great jury.
Speaking of family, do you think the jury seeing ASAP with Rihanna as a family man and their children helped his defense?
No, I don't think that helped his defense at all. Everyone knows he had Rihanna. Everyone knows he has 2 kids, sorry. I mean, I don't think the jury was like, all right, I think he's guilty, but look at the kids. I mean, so that's, you know, I'm glad the prosecution focused on that in their summation. We didn't. The evidence in this case was deficient. I think that they need to be going after Terrell Efron. As I've always said, he was an extortionist. He was someone who showed committed extortion. The tape that one of you all said was really good for the prosecution that we brought in turned out not to be so good for the prosecution. It was him repeating the same story that he repeated from day one. But what it had on there was, 1, him committing perjury to this jury, and 2, him acknowledging he wanted $30 million and he disappeared to an island. That's called extortion. For what? To get his $697 he has in his bank account? Even though, if you look on Instagram, he's a billionaire. But, you know, I'm not suing Raleigh. I have other things in life to do. You know, he sued us. And after today, I don't think that's going so well. So, but anyway, look, I'm just happy the jury came to the right conclusion swiftly.
Hey,
Yes.
Joe, speaking of evidence or lack of evidence, the fact that a gun was not presented in court to the jurors, did that make a difference in this verdict?
You know, who knows what made a difference? I mean, that jury, they're able to speak to you guys if they want to. I don't know if they're going to. Both ways the gun was presented, right? Our gun, the gun that Rocky actually had, the prop, or the gun that the prosecution said he had wasn't produced. So I think it was a wash, so to speak. I think the jurors had to go on the evidence that they had, right? They can't speculate. They had evidence in this case. Most of the incriminating evidence came from the words of someone who's, as I said, whose tongue is a stranger to the truth. You know, is an admitted perjurer, admitted liar. So I just don't think any jury could embrace that. And if you can't believe Terrell Efron in this case, you can't convict. It's that simple.
You can't trust the messenger. You gotta ignore the whole message. Period.
But if the messenger doesn't think, you must quit.
That's
Did
it.
that happen in this courtroom, something like that?
Absolutely.
Joe, how did you keep Rocky at ease throughout this case?
How did I keep at ease? Yeah, he fed off my confidence, honestly. He fed off my confidence. We talked every night. Obviously, he was heavily involved in his defense. You know, but he would follow my lead. And if I told him things going well, obviously he didn't know this procedure, this process. But I told him things going well, they went well. So, you know, he was really good. He's a smart guy. You know, his only misstep was that time he started out, you know, in the courtroom about, you know, his personal company, which is so irrelevant. It was so irrelevant to the case. You know, obviously he was being defamed. People would use derogatory statements towards him. Relly called him every name in the book. You know, homophobic names, all these things. And Rocky didn't move a muscle. But when something personal to him was being asked about, which is irrelevant to the case, what his company was called, what the acronym was. Well, it's an acronym for his company. It had to do with his family. I'm going to leave it at that, right? And he was so he wanted that revealed nationally, publicly. It's like a private thing, the way someone doesn't want that phone number revealed. So he, you know, after the witness had already answered, he said, "Don't say," which caused me to heel kick him in the ankle. So the second time you heard from
He
Rocky
played
was a yell.
footsie.
So it was don't say ow, but the ow was from me. Don't say it was from him. But it was irrelevant to this case. But again, the prosecution focused on that. They focused on Rihanna and the kids. They focused on a lemon. They focused on a dog. They focused on a donut. We focused our summation on the facts. And, you know, I guess the jury saw it our way.
Somebody is zooming.
Yeah, I think that was a great bonding experience for them personally. I mean, I've known them for a while. Rihanna is an amazing woman, strong woman, and she obviously was there to support him. She'd always been in touch with me throughout the process to make sure things were going well, and privately wanted reassurance. But she was here. Wild Horse, Rocky did not want her here. I will tell you that. I think I said it to you in the beginning. He did not want her here. He wanted to shield her from this. Wild Horse was going to keep her away. So, you know,
Shout out to Wild Horses.
It brings you closer. It's a bonding experience, and they're just two special people. So I can't imagine this has been anything but a life-altering experience for them.
How does it feel to get a public win after Donald Trump fired you?
So, do you know your facts?
Well, I'm asking you.
No, he didn't fire me. I resigned from the case.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Before he fired you? Okay.
He didn't fire me.
You're not here for that.
I'm not here for that. I was invited for the inauguration also, but I don't know what you're talking about. But so I'm not going to answer questions about other cases in my career. But that's a good question. You must be a good journalist.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Well, clearly they weren't receptive to his message, right? Clearly they weren't receptive to his message and his tactics. I mean, you know, he treated two witnesses who came in here respecting the process, the court, were compliant witnesses, and he yelled at them for 2 hours.
He yelled at them for 2 hours.
Cursing at me, flexing, cursing, throwing water bottles. I think he was like, and I don't think that's good for a jury. I don't think the jury wants to see a lawyer out of control. So, you know, look, based on the verdict, I can only say clearly that those tactics didn't work, right? The yelling, the screaming, the constant objecting. You know, a jury doesn't want to be kept away from the facts. And I think they want to know that facts are, you know, being brought to them. They won't want to be hidden from facts. So when you constantly object as a lawyer and the jury feels like you're trying to hide something from them, I think they don't like that. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know if Newton's conduct had anything to do with it. I think the facts really governed the day and carried this verdict. So I really do. More so than any lawyer's conduct. Okay, anyone else? We good? I want to not answer anyone's questions.
Anyone else be good?
Yeah, damn right I think he should be prosecuted. I mean, he perjured himself a dozen times in front of this jury. Perjury is a crime. There's now evidence that he committed extortion on the record. You know, let's see if the DA really wants to go after a criminal. I mean, they spent all this time, all this money pursuing Rocky. Someone who was acquitted and vindicated. Hopefully they'll go pursue a real criminal, and they have the evidence to do it. It's on the record, so he should prosecute. I hope he does.
Thank you. Thanks for coming back.
Thank you, guys. Thank you very much.
All right. I got out of there all quietly. So there you go, chat. There is press conference there. I am looking at, I do assume Mel's gonna do juror interviews as well if she was able to catch someone. Let me pull up her YouTube channel and make sure. Because we're gonna be wrapping this up. I am gonna be looking for a place to go on a trip with you guys. Redirect over to somebody else's stream. But with Mel, like, since she's at the courthouse and then on her way home, there's usually a gap between when she schedules her live. But I do think she'll probably go live later. So I'm going to share her link in the chat. But unfortunately, I can't redirect to something that's not scheduled. But we'll find somewhere else. We'll redirect somewhere. We'll keep it Rocky related. Also, before I miss it, PD Broker, welcome back. PD Broker says, I've missed y'all with the green hearts and green amphibious emoji. Definitely a great day to tune in. It's a nice feeling to hear this acquittal. It was a great feeling with YSL as well. And again, a similarity there of kind of like stick it to the prosecution. right? It's not just about the defendant getting acquitted. It's also about prosecutor. Like, should you really have done this way? So, Norma Jean, thanks for hanging out with us today. Just saying, hey, Kat. Big thank you for being a member for 4 months. Hubba Hubba says, while I think there was no chance that that was a prop gun, I do agree with verdict. The state did not prove their case. Yep, I think this is totally reasonable. And again, it's from the one juror, from what we're seeing, we don't know if it's just a matter of we didn't think they proved their case. We believe it was a real gun, but we don't think they proved it was a real gun and the other elements were met. Maybe we believe it was a real gun, but they didn't prove that it wasn't self-defense. We think that it could have been self-defense. It wasn't really specified. And I haven't watched the full interview that Nick at Night did. But again, it would be if Rocky came in and took an affirmative defense and said, yep, I did all these things, but I did it in self-defense. We could have actually had a different verdict. Because if we took off the table proving the other elements, maybe it could have been different. So you guys heard me harp on affirmative defenses there, and that's, I think, a great strategy from start to finish here from Rocky's defense team. But great food for thought. This is totally reasonable, Hubba Hubba. And I'm glad that this is the way the jury looked at it. The burden of proof. Beyond a reasonable doubt. That should be the standard, and a lot of juries do not understand that. So I know that there's some contention, like some people are upset in the chat, like, how did they think it was a real gun? If they believed it was a real gun, they believed it. But for them to say, look, we still don't think it was proven beyond a reasonable doubt, I really respect that. Really respect that. Because we just saw an interview from a juror in the Karen Reed case where that's a bit murkier, the understanding of reasonable doubt. Also, BigBabyJane, good. Oh my God, it's so good to see you, BigBabyJane. Look who's back again. I've missed you guys. Missed you too. You're in the description of our live stream videos, so you're here in spirit with us every stream. It's really good to see you though, and I hope you're doing well. I'm so glad that you joined us for this great verdict announcement today. And then I want to see. Oh, is Flesh of the Gods live already? Because it's 8 o'clock. Holy moly. So I'm here like talking about where are we gonna go. Thank you, FFS. Because we can redirect over there. Like, I have no clue what time it is until I just looked. I'm in the Pacific Coast time zone, not realizing I'm in Florida. So let me redirect this over. And also, want to make sure, I feel bad. So let me do 2 things at once here, chat. Okay, so big thank you to Andrea. I try not to say full names, but all I have is Andrea here for the Cash App here. Thank you so much for that. And then Angela, My says, thank you for all that you do. Thank you so much, My. Big thank you here, and thanks for the reminder. I don't typically check my phone, and then sometimes I get off the stream and see a Cash App and feel really bad that I don't say thank you. So thank you for the reminder in the chat, and sorry that I'm not very active at checking my phone for those notifications. Big appreciation there for the Cash Apps. Any final words, chat, before we go over and watch more ASAP Rocky content with Flesh of the Gods? Any final words on this verdict, this case, the coverage of the case, what you thought about in the beginning versus where you are now? Because again, I think my first video title was the ASAP Rocky trial is not crazy, is it? Something to that effect. Because I really didn't think it would be this. And it was crazy. It was a bunch of attorney squabbling, more than I could ever imagine. So I never would have predicted this when I first heard the story about the arrest back in April of 2022. Just to see how this played out. I think it's a big L for the prosecution. Yeah, and Sommer says, I hope Lewin loses his civil cases. Do you mean Relly? Michael says DA overcharged. Yeah, I think this is problematic. I mean, but they didn't know about the prop theory until like the eve of trial. But yeah, Miranda says the evidence was lacking. Oh, thank you, allegedly maybe. Yes, thank you. Oh my gosh, see, I get so confused. I don't know who's who on chat. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I was like, I don't know how to work with just one name here. That's really nice of you. Thank you for sending that. Miranda says, bite it, Lewin. Val says, I always felt it was not guilty. Well, so for me, the initial, it's on video clear as day, and then I find out that it's not really, not only is it not on video clear as day, but it's really not visible from afar on video at all. Like this whole wildfire thing at the very beginning, framing the forward projection of this case. It was framed within this article, really, that stemmed back to Cheyenne Roundtree with Rolling Stone, and the article that Relly shopped to get placed in Rolling Stone, where they relayed this. Well, there's a video that shows it clear as day, but his attorneys are saying, well, we haven't seen the video, but we understand that it's clear as day. So really, the original source of that seems like the district attorney was over-representing what the available video evidence showed. So, oh, and then Sommer says, no, Lewin has civil cases from former DA employees. You're right. The retaliation stuff. So thank you for the reminder on that. Interested in seeing how that plays out, as well as potential sanctions, not just for Lewin, but Joe is in that mix as well. The sanctions bag from Judge Mark Arnold. So if I see updates on that, I will definitely share them with you guys. With that being said, we are going to wrap up. If there's updates in any of the cases, like YSL2, Courtney Clenny, you guys will hear from me, as well as civil cases relating to this. But other than that, I mean, I don't plan on covering any trials that are either ongoing or coming up soon. But I will be in a whole bunch of chats, so I hope to see you guys in somebody else's chat. It's one of my favorite things to run into you guys somewhere else. And when there's a reason to go live, we'll meet again. Hopefully for good news. Flesh of the Gods. A redirect is set up. Oh, Survivor Speaks, good to see you. This is a great note to end on. I'm crying like a big baby. Rocky's free. So I'm very happy with the news personally. People that truly believe that the evidence was there, I can relate to maybe having some grief that they feel like justice wasn't served. I disagree completely, but I understand. For the people that just wanted to see someone go down because of some Stan pop culture war, that's got to be the stupidest thing I come across, and I'm so tired of seeing it. So screw people that think that way. I hate it. With that being said, see you guys over at Flesh of the Gods if you want to come over there with us. If you're going to go check something else out, join us for the redirect, hit the like button, show some love to Flesh of the Gods, and have a good evening. You guys all take care. Bye, guys.